The Rotary Student Exchange Program has been going on for over 50 years in St. Mary's. Mark Oliver is in charge of it in St. Mary's, and he is bringing on the show Abby Leighton, who has just returned from France, Laura Vink, who went to Germany, and Angelica Pierce, who traveled to Croatia, and Jessie Lawson, who hasn't left yet, but she's going to be going to the Czech Republic. Come on. Yeah, I had them sit down for an obvious reason.
What would that be?
They're taller than you are.
No comment.
Mark, how does the Rotary Student Exchange Program work?
The Rotary Youth Exchange Program is a cultural exchange for students between the ages of 15 and 18. They travel to another country. They live and study there for about 11 months. During that time, they'll live with usually about 3 different host families. They're going to meet exchange students in that country that are there from all the corners of the world. There's going to be opportunities for them to travel. They will come home pretty much fluent in the language of their host country. And the goals of the program are we want them to...
Excuse me, I just got to help my dog here. There we go. There we go, Kaylee. Okay, she was struggling a bit.
So the goals of the program are we want them to learn another language, they'll make lifelong friends, and it helps build peace between nations when everyone's friends.
And what makes a student a good candidate?
Well, ideal candidates, like I said, it should be between 15 and 18. Academically, they should be in the upper third of their class. They should be curious about other cultures. They should also be good ambassadors for Canada and our culture. And they also need to be open to change and new experiences.
And how are candidates, what kind of things are done to ensure the safety and well-being of the students?
Okay, sure. Well, I mean, obviously there are countries in the world where things are in turmoil, and so we don't exchange with those countries. Host families have to undergo a vetting program. They have to pass criminal background checks. The students spend about 6 months with Rotary before they go attending training conferences, and at those conferences they'll learn things like how to recognize when they're experiencing culture shock, how to deal with homesickness. And they'll also work with other exchange students who are here from the countries that they're going to be going to and help them learn, get ready for what life is going to be like in those countries.
So how are the kids matched with their foreign families?
Well, during the application process, the students have to choose the countries that they want to go to. Once they're assigned to a country, somebody goes to work, usually a youth exchange officer in a local Rotary club, like myself, and that person lines up those families in that community where they're going to live.
Yeah. But the families are very well known to you before anybody leaves Canada.
The students, usually it's the first people they hear from before they go on exchange. A lot of times they'll get a little innocent email from their future host sister saying, "Hi, I'm not supposed to be talking to you yet, but I can't wait to meet you," that kind of thing. So. Okay,
well, let's talk to some of the participants. Say your name and where you're going. And you got name tags on. Okay, and you went, Angelica.
Yeah, I went to Croatia.
Okay.
I went to Germany.
And that's Laura.
I'm Abby, and I went to France.
I'm Jessie. I'm going to the Czech Republic.
And you're the nervous one because you haven't gone yet.
Yep.
Okay. Let's have some questions. First, the ones who have completed the Rotary Exchange Program, what was the greatest thing you learned by going on it? Angelica?
You learn a lot about yourself, like some things that you didn't realize before. You go through a lot of things, so you get more patience. You just get a lot of life experience in 1 year.
As she said, because you learn so much about yourself, you know when you want to take more risks in a situation, you become a lot more open-minded.
I learned that you can eat a lot of things.
And Jess, you haven't learned yet. You'll find out. Okay, what was the most difficult part?
Coming home, because not just pins are falling everywhere on the plane, but reverse culture shock is extreme. Because you think you're going to come home and everything may not be the same, but you kind of expect it to be the same.
Same for you, or?
It was a bit different, actually. Integrating into the host families, not knowing what they expected from you, and not being able to communicate as well because you didn't speak the same language.
And did they speak your language?
They spoke a bit of English, but I could never understand my host father.
Okay. And Abby?
Going to school at 8 a.m. when you leave at 6:45 a.m. and then get home at around 8 o'clock p.m. That was a bit difficult.
Yeah, that's a long day for sure. What did you find the most unusual thing in the country you lived in?
Some of the superstitions, so one of them was if you sit on bare concrete, you could freeze your ovaries.
No danger with that with me.
I have a bit of a story, actually. So the first month I got there, my host family took me swimming. After we went swimming, I didn't expect this. They started to strip right in front of me to change, and I had to avert my eyes really quick because I was.
Are you talking male and female?
Yes.
Okay. From what country? That was Germany, wasn't
Yes. Germany.
it? Yeah. Okay, Abby?
I ate a pigeon heart. That was very unusual.
Okay. Jess, you listened to all this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What are your final comments about the Rotary Exchange Program?
If you get the chance to do it, I suggest you try, because I didn't think I was going to do it, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Obviously, you collect pins and things like that when you go. If they have them on one side, they'd be going like this.
It's the most rewarding experience I've had so far.
It's just amazing.
Abby lives across the road from me, and I didn't recognize her because when she came across, she'd say, "What left was a very young woman, and what came back was an older woman." And I didn't. Your hairstyle was different, and I didn't recognize her at first because she'd sort of grown in many ways, and I'm sure you grew inside well as far as your confidence and things like this. So, what are your expectations, Jess, going to the Czech Republic?
I don't really have any expectations. I have no idea what's going to be thrown at me, so
And how long are you going to be staying there?
until the beginning of July.
Beginning of July. And have you had any contact with your host family at all?
Yep, my host sister sneakily texted me on Facebook, and I talked to her, and me and her have FaceTimed, and she showed me her whole house, and I've seen pictures of her family, and we've talked a lot.
Okay, you talked a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Mark, if people want to investigate about getting involved, what can they do?
Well, here in St. Mary's, we're always looking for host families. It's not the easiest thing to do. And right now we have a student arriving on Tuesday night from Taiwan. And I have his first and last host family, but I don't have his middle host family to host them from the middle of December through to the end of March.
So host families have them for how long?
About 3.5 months.
3.5 months. So they're here for 9 months.
No, 11 months.
Okay, my math is not so great. Yeah.
If you know of a young person who you think would be interested in this program, we'd love to be put in touch with them. We think it's an excellent program. That being said, on Wednesday night this week, we begin earnestly interviewing 4 candidates who want to go on exchange next year. So if there's anybody out there that would like to throw their hat into this program, they need to do it pretty quick.
And how do they do that?
Contact me.
And how do they do that?
And I'll stay here behind the show after the show tonight to answer any questions. I've got cards with me.
Okay. So get a business card, and they can go to the Rotary Facebook site and get information or leave a message there.
Yep. Or they can go to Central States Rotary Youth Exchange.org. I've got all the information. Happy to help people.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming in.